To me, Nelson Nash is life change, innovation, and paradigm shift. Those are the three things that came to mind when I think about Nelson Nash.
A person that came to my life at the right time and gave me direction on the fundamentals of how finance and how a family, a generational family, should be able to make each generation better.
Well, Nelson Nash para mí ha sido una persona que en el tiempo que llevo leyendo el libro y conociendo lo que él hace, una persona que definitivamente va a cambiar la historia en el mundo que vivimos.
I didn't get an opportunity to meet Nelson in person. And I know that sometimes if you don't meet someone in person and someone asks you, what does this person mean to you? Sometimes those answers can get a little funny, right? I didn't know him, but he wrote down a lot of the information in this book, and I've read his book more than once.
Well, Nelson Nash to me was a committed Christian with a vision to help people financially through what he had discovered.
Nelson Nash to me is the legend that showed us that he articulated why there is so much financial discomfort. And it was always right in front of us, and we just could not see it. And he showed us how to get out of it.
Nelson Nash is a man who had a vision. That's the most important thing. He had a vision, and then he followed it up with a conviction to share that with people, and thank God it made it to me.
Nelson मेरे लिए एक गुरु है. हिंदी में हम कहते हैं कि गुरु से बढ़कर कोई नहीं है. And गुरु ने जो सिखाया है, उसको सीखो. किसी को गुरु को क्वेश्चन ना करो, गुरु को चैलेंज ना करो, पर उसको सीखो, उसको समझो.
Oh man, he's the savior, man. He's the messenger, he's the pioneer. He had the solution, he had to find something, and you know, through commitment to his family and to prayer, he was able to find it.
Si Nelson Nash ay isang magaling na guro at mentor.
Kind of like a father figure. He was a mentor, a friend, and someone that set amazing example of loving people and sowing into people's lives.
Nelson Nash 对我来说是金融银行这个 godfather.
He's an inspiration. He gives hope, and vision, passion, and consistency.
Not only is the founder of IBC, but he is like a mentor or an example of what it's like to follow Christ, to get it, to have a mission and see it through all the way to the end.
I wish I'd had the chance to meet Mr. Nelson Nash. I didn't learn about IBC or becoming your own banker until after he passed away.
Nelson Nash is a man who saw an opportunity and he had a passion to share it and to change lives.
Nelson is a gentleman who found one of the most peaceful ways to solve a difficult problem.
Unfortunately, I never had the chance to meet Mr. Nelson Nash in person, but I'd heard so much about him and I've watched so many hours of video, as well as, of course, read the book so many times.
Y de la manera que yo conocí a Nelson fue mientras hacía Uber, llevaba a mis amigos Mauricio y Tony y escuché que ellos hablaban de Nelson Nash. Y el primer encuentro que tuve con él fue cuando vi su video y ahí reconocí que había algo grande detrás de todo esto. Tanto fue así que comencé a estudiar para poder tener la licencia.
Nelson Nash is one heck of a lovable guy. Someone who's so easy to talk to, so easy to explain things, especially the infinite banking concept.
Nelson Nash is a father. He's a father to me. I just so grateful to the fact that he listened to his own purpose, his own mission, and didn't waver.
First visionary who showed us the problem. Second, a mentor and a coach who taught us how to implement this process and why to implement this process. But the other thing, as a practitioner, he taught me, amongst other mentors here, how to deliver and teach this message to public, and how also teach this message to other advisors that I'm training and coaching and getting them going.
If I had to sum it up in a word, I'd say inspirational. There's it's a man that took what should be a really simple concept and was able to put it on paper and try and make and improve everyone else's life.
I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Nelson face to face, but I have the pleasure of learning from him every single day. Every single time I watch one of his YouTube videos, read his book, every single time I am touched by someone who has met him and I hear stories, I benefit from Nelson every single day.
Unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to meet Nelson in person, but I surely wish I had. But from everything that I've ever watched or seen of him and from people that have known him, he was surely a Christian gentleman.
Nelson Nash is someone that has profoundly impacted my life in many ways by the information that was shared in the Becoming Young Banking book.
I thought his book was good the first time I read it, but it's gotten better the more times I've read it.
And in that book, I realized that the principles that he's taught, that I've applied to my life and my family's life, make him someone so important and special for me.
发明的这个IBC 这个 idea 是改变了我的人生，不只是我的人生，我的家庭，我的女儿，我的下一辈子的这个 future 都是感谢 Nelson 写了这本书叫做 Infinite Banking Concept.
Because if I hadn't read that book, I would have continued doing everything mainstream financial and I would have done all the work and everybody else would have gotten all my money.
Donde salimos de una escuela y no sabemos exactamente nada de números, nada de finanzas. Nos graduamos, no importa el nivel educativo que tú lleves, definitivamente, si no sabes de finanzas, vas a fracasar.
When I was able to unlock the infinite banking concept, as he says on the cover of his book, and realized that the financing capabilities and the money that's leaving my family and leaving my pocket was killing me, and I wasn't told the truth about money, it changed everything about my life and clients that I now serve and my kids.
Like the proof's in the pudding, you know what I'm saying? Like people, you know, from what I was told, pushing him to write a book. He's like, I don't want to write a book. You know, that's amazing.
You have Nelson on video, you have Nelson through different resources. I would encourage you, if you never met Nelson, to get in touch and communicate with people that did, people that have been doing IBC for a long, long time and really got to spend time with Nelson.
Nelson actually brought as a limelight into society what truly is the problem, because people don't understand the problem. They just focus on the things that don't really matter financially.
It's a simple solution, but it's so counter to everything that we're taught, and Nelson was able to, as a grandfatherly figure, to guide us.
He answered the question to the problem that so many people have with that book, and I'm excited about the potential it's going to have for my life.
Tinuturuan tayo mga pamilya para makatipid tayo sa mga finance charges at magkaroon tayo ng sariling control sa ating mga kayamanan.
I think that Nelson was a legacy planter. He planted seeds of legacy that would carry on in his family, but would carry on that legacy in other families. He planted the legacy in my family that changed the where my family was going to be over my lifetime and over my children's lifetimes.
And he inspires me to think multi-generationally and to pass on the things that I know to my kids, grandkids, and think 3-4 generations in the future.
I started practicing the infinite banking concept in 2016. I wish I started practicing decades sooner. It's the single greatest financial decision that I've ever made in my life.
He was really about a gospel that was bigger than going to heaven when you die. It was about a gospel that changes everything, that is a new creation, that is about human flourishing.
He literally saved my life and my family on the financial level, and stress-free right now.
The thing that makes me grieve that I didn't get a chance to meet him is to just express my appreciation to him. We usually talk about in the infinite banking community how it can be used to finance, but it can be used in my area of expertise in charitable giving.
He has allowed me to have a peace of mind, understanding about how money works and how to put it for my family. And that is huge for me, because as a young mom, I feel confident that not only my current, but my future life, utilizing the concepts in his book,
is far better off had I not had this information.
It's trickled down for years, and my life and my family's lives have been changed because of it.
Y hoy, ya siendo licenciado, tengo la oportunidad de estar aquí viviendo lo que escuché por estos últimos 5 meses, viendo que es realidad.
We can just go right around them, and Nelson taught us how we can peacefully just do our own thing without having to fight with the banks and the government.
I can still hear his voice, talking about all the values that he's instilled, talks about with IBC and the principles that, we try to kind of follow and lead with our clients.
He helped me understand how to really use critical thinking, to start thinking as we should think, and to get out of the noise, to understand this concept of infinite banking.
He took action, massive action in what he believed in, and really didn't let anything stop him, but to also empower other people.
So anytime I'm on a mission, I'm on his mission, and anytime I get sidetracked, I just think about him and all he's accomplished and what it means to the world and how it's impacting, and so he motivates me.
Recently, I've been searching in my own life for a new purpose after my first career, and I think this is definitely something that just reaffirmed for me what that new purpose needs to be.
And I was fortunate enough to meet him and visit with him on several occasions, and he was just a great man.
Whenever I met him, I just kept my mouth shut and I just listened to what he had to say.
I consider myself just so blessed to have spent 11 years working and being mentored by Nelson Nash. Changed my life.
Not only change my own life, but to change the lives of others just by being human and being kind and being empathetic and helping others to flourish. That's what I love about Nelson.
He made a significant impact on countless lives. He is an incredible force that more people need to pay attention to, and more people will be grateful that he graced this planet with his presence.
Nelson Nash para mí representa eso, llevar ese legado a las personas que en realidad quieren ir más allá en sus finanzas.
Well, Nelson, if you were here today, if I was able to speak to you in person, I would say thank you. Thank you not only for the vision that you've given a community, you provided an idea and a concept that I think is going to impact a lot of people that look just like me.
If I would have known this 40 years ago when I came to the United States, that would make a big difference in my life. But I always say that it's never too late.
And it means a lot to me for a fella to finally understand the product that the insurance companies frequently don't understand themselves.
I consider Nelson my friend.
Nelson is a hero for me.
Who is he to me? He's my financial superhero.
He was a fantastic, salt of the earth human being. There's only a few visionaries that come around every generation, and for me, Nelson Nash was a visionary.
Nelson means the world to me. Not just to me, but to my future grandkids that I don't even have.
So I love Nelson for his legacy, and I want to do everything that he's done and God willing more.
Because of his selfless efforts, he's a father to many, including me.
I truly am grateful for him, his family, and the information that he's shared through that book.
Thank you to Nelson's family for staying strong behind his mission, his cause, and his legacy.
So to me, he's a blessing in my life.
A great fellow human being, and I miss him. We all miss him.
Nelson, I love you.
Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson.